First of all, on the follow-up to the Mr. Bukala's issue, Ms. Bukala's issue, I think I will relay the information back to the DCI to update the family if the update has not been ongoing. But usually there is an investigation officer who always, in more investigation cases, who always updates families. And I think I will if that has not been the case to Mr. Bukala's family, I will make sure that I take it back. As to the whereabouts of this suspect, I believe that you can see all the evidence is pointing at one person. So the question is only where that person is. And I think now the investigation moved to who is the suspect to where the suspect is. And I believe that, again, with as you can see, we will need collaboration with also neighboring countries, just in case if he ran away to the neighboring countries. And then on the chief's office, I agree with you that when we build the SCC's office, maybe we should always have consideration of where a chief or so can operate from. When we build the chief's office, we should have a place for the assistant chief where he can sit and the village elder. So we have been grappling with one full design of a police station of administrative units, so that then if you get well-wishers or NGCDF or any other person, they want to build a police station, they know the standard design of a police station. They know the standard design of a chief's office, standard design of, so that one, we will follow up to make sure that that is completed. Then we need to encourage as many members of the public as possible to give to these causes, to build a police station, to build a chief's office. It shouldn't be government alone. Even the business community can do so, because this is a joint collaboration between the community and government. And in cases where business community has been very active, let me say the case of Eastleigh, for example, security is greatly improved because the business community is working together, the local police, to invest in facilities, but also working relationship. And I think this should be the case in many parts of the country. On the question of Trans Nzoia, I don't think that Trans Nzoia really have gangs at the level of gangs, but they have goons. At the moment, there are many goons attached to politicians in Trans Nzoia. They haven't matured properly to be a gang. You know, a gang is a very serious issue. A gang is led separately with proper chain of command and so forth. But there are goons that are attached to leaders, and we know a number of those goons are hanging around political actors. A lot has been done so far to deal with those, to dismantle those goons, but still a lot needs to be done, because these are people who are hired per session. So some leader who's going to some village, he doesn't want to go alone. I don't know why he's fearing his own people. You carry goons. They reach a funeral, they start a fight. The funeral is in disarray. The family is run away. And you know, we've had those cases in Matungu, we have those cases in Kitale. I schooled in Kitale, and I'm also a person who lives in its neighborhood. And there was a time you go to Kitale and walk in the streets normally. But now if you go to Kitale and you're walking around, you also have to get some people to escort you, because there are many goons around that can make your life very difficult. We've been working very hard with the county security team in Trans Nzoia, and I'll be visiting there as part of our county also visits. But a lot has been done to deal with this issue, but we'll still do more. This is just basically politics, very bad politics, which really we should not have in our country. And you see, one person organizes young people to heckle and fight others, to take you around. Then slowly it grows to become organized goons. And then before long, it will now be gangs, the way Mheshimiwa said. So we are dealing with it. But if it reaches a stage where we have to arrest some politicians and deal with them, we'll do it so that we can make the county peaceful. There are some counties that are so peaceful, Mr. Chair. Yet there are some certain counties that have this kind of goods. You know, a number of these counties, I don't want to use my county as an example, but if you look at my county, anybody goes, leaders go together with their opponents, they go to the same meeting, they talk, they leave. Not a day that somebody organizes anything. You know, you don't have to prepare to go to Elgeyo Marakwet. And I must appreciate all the leaders that come from that county. But there are some counties, I don't want to mention, that you have to put a budget to go and visit your own constituency or to your own county for some people to escort you. And before long, they tax you this, tax you the other one, and the place becomes very chaotic. We need to work very hard to bring the country into some good level of order. And then on the issue of chief's office also, we depend on NGCDF. Let's work together. Support us also in some places. I am a firm defender of NGCDF, even when I was a senator, because I don't see the reason why in my constituency, for example, whether I am elected or not elected, I don't see how we should return money to Nairobi and then come here to beg to build classes and police stations and police. If there is a better model of decentralized resources than GCDF, and if we manage to get even the kind of returns that we get from NGCDF, if we got that from other devolved funds, if we got even a fraction of the devolved, for example, when we were in Senate, we were insisting, because the law says so, we're insisting that 40% of the money for devolution should go to development. But counties now cannot even reach 10%. Because they have inflated the human, because of experience of politics. So the wage bill has been increased. So if I come, I hire people. If I another one, I hire people. But the way NGCDF is so strict in terms of wage bill, almost 97% of the money go to development, it makes a difference. I am making a case on behalf of my ministry that even as we praise and appreciate NGCDF, let's work together on the security part. I know the schools have been built. We're almost at a level where we can say, yes, fairly built. But administrative units, which are extremely important, the chief's office, police station, we should. If you are talking about affirmative action in Trans Nzoia, because you have not gone to Tana River. You go to Tana River, the headquarters of Tana River, the county commissioner is living in some kind of a shanty there at the corner. That is his office. You know, as a committee, you need to go there. And you ask yourself, you know, if there is no definition of marginalization, that is outright marginalization. So we need to work on it. And because as a ministry, we are struggling with development funds in different places, if we can get cases of NGCDF supporting us, even if it is 50-50, then we can see the budget that is appropriated here. We can share 50-50, say, if it is 25 million to build a good police station, we can contribute 10, like that. Then the country can be better. And some constituencies are doing that, and they're doing very well. Some have not even attempted a single police station, Mr. Chairman.
Chair, could we kindly request the minister to make his support for NGCDF official?
It has always been official. It's on record. It has been on record from when I was a senator. No, even anyway, when it was when you used to have a fight between governors and I mean counties and constituencies. I'm on record, even as majority leader in the Senate, that we must separate our political competition and the place of the resource of NGCDF. And the facts speak for themselves. I know where Rosa is going, but I won't change my position. It's very firm. It's very, very official. affirmative action on infrastructure, village elders. On the village elders issue, we are very clear. The policy we are working on is to define what is a village. Then from there, we see what kind of support we'll give to the village elders. Because there are people volunteering now as village elders. Wait until it is said they will get some ex gratia or some support. Then suddenly there will be mushrooming of villages.
Yes.
You know, that now, oh yeah, now we are 5 villages. So we want first to work on the policy on where is a village and how do you define a village. In Nairobi, what's a village? In a rural area, what's a village? And who is a village elder?
Yes.
You must also remember, Mr. Chair, that there's an overlapping responsibilities here. You have a village elder, but even in the County Government Act, we have the village council.
Yes.
That is run by county governments. And the only county that has operationalized a village council is Samburu. And some other counties, and I think Kajiado is trying to do so, Narok is trying to do so. They must also be very careful not to inflate also the wage bill. But at the same time, how will these then village councils operate with a village elder that is working with the... We want to harmonize all that in the policy itself so that we don't have duplication. And eventually then we can amend the law to align the village together. And then... I totally agree with Honorable Ambassador Sigay on the police. The police are doing a lot. The problem, they are only in public when they are responding to criticism. You know, the National Police Service, in terms of its communication, is only when they are being criticized that somebody has been abducted, somebody is missing, somebody is whatever. But on a daily basis, on a day-to-day basis. For example, I've said this because I saw the other day some newspaper writing about our security, and it's extremely embarrassing that you know, a nationally circulated newspaper would, in a desperate manner, speak about our security sector, including there is no country in the world that its opposition or its newspapers will be discussing the strength or lack of its police. For example, even when ODM was in opposition, I never heard former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, for example, just hold on, as an opposition party for the many years. Even then, I never saw the former Prime Minister go somewhere and stand in a place and say, in Kenya, we don't have enough this and that to fight this kind of crime. Nobody does that. Because there is a difference between politics and national interest. So you can't wake up one day and say, oh, Kenya does not have number of helicopters or doesn't have doesn't have guns, doesn't have bullets or whatever the kind of thing. And I don't know who will teach these newspapers to understand the difference between national security and personal petty fights about this politician and that one because this is the honor of this place and that place. So we just need to be very, very... So our police officers, and I am saying this in the context of fighting terrorism, from the day we have been from the onset of Al-Shabaab, they have never stopped trying to come to our country. Yet our security people have never stopped defending this country. So the peace we have is not for the absence of the threat. It is because of the daily effort of our police officers, which includes the NPR, but also the daily effort of citizens who live in frontier counties. When I went to Todonyang, Mr. Chair, we depend on the NPR in Todonyang to protect our country because it is the citizens in that corner that are doing a very good job. Kibish, yes. You go to Mandera, you go to Marsabit, you go to Tana River, you go to Lamu, you go to West Pokot. Most parts of the border areas which are security prone, the citizens, the NPR, and the police are working together to secure our country. But because there was one incident here over Ramadan, another incident over Christmas, another incident over there, somebody blows up and says that this country is Tatars and so forth. Yet every day, the security are protecting this country. So the point you've made, PCCK, we take it seriously, and when we go back, we will communicate National Police Service to re-engineer their communication. If they have done certain investigation, like some of the things we are reading here, I think every so often, either the DCI himself as DCI in the world, when there are serious investigations that are going on in the US, for example, the FBI will come, the director of FBI himself will come and read, we have been following this investigation, this one, or CIA, we have been doing this and this. So I think at some point the DCI should himself in person. And then the IG, every so often, maybe 4 times a year, update the country on certain issues. And then now the daily or weekly communication from their spokesperson. This kind of proactive communication will make people aware of the things the security sector is doing every day to avert any disaster in our country and any other problems in the nation. I totally agree, and we are doing a tour all over the country. Having done the coast region, we'll continue with the other regions. But I have learned from these tours that it's not a tourism kind of thing. We've been able to go there, solve instantly certain problems that should be solved instantly. For example, we were in Kilifi and we found 4 police officers who have been manning a police station for the longest, and they are drunk completely, addicted. And immediately, by virtue of just being there, we took them to rehabilitation camp so that they can be attended to, because the community was saying these people are sick. They have been like this for 2 years and so forth. They are the only ones manning this police station. So sometimes it's not enough to operate from here in the city. Certain opportunities being there. You see with your own eyes also some infrastructure. When we are talking about affirmative action, you can see this one requires a police station, this one requires whatever. And this, and also the policies themselves. To be able to meet a police officer who has been in Tana River for 15 years in one operational area, and he comes from somewhere in Kisumu. You feel, by feeling and seeing them, you look at these things differently, and we look forward to doing so across the country, and perhaps re-energize our officers in terms of the service they are giving, but also change as much as we can as a team from the ministry on the issues of security. I think I leave it at that, Mr. Chair, and if it pleases you, perhaps because we have another meeting, we request that we come towards an end of this conversation.
Chair, can I say a word?
Yes.
Initially, we have got about 11 questions, but you had exhausted at least the question whose members appeared. And I want to direct at this. For the rest of the question, we can able to have them, because already written responses, the table for records, the documents of the House. And there were 2 or 3. I think Mary talked that there was no sufficient time to have them responded to, which I did commit to the House. Administration and okay, the screening.
Okay.
Then there is another one on there from Tindi Mwale regarding disruption of the performance of Echoes of War. Okay. Play it by Butere Girls. And then there is another one by, who is this? By Honorable Doris Donya. This is about the statement regarding tragic death of Sylvia Kimunto. I think that those are the 3.
Okay. We'll work on it and reply.
So if we can get it by close of business or tomorrow, so that at least, because we table by Thursday, that will be more appreciated. And also CS, because we should be actually coming to an end. I think we had agreed also the list of administration units. I think the PS is here. He can able to have them to help you. We have them, and I will appreciate we segregate that those awaiting just AIE and issues of procedure for posting, we have them as a separate list. But those who unit which were gazetted, but has got no budget whatsoever, and looking about mobilization of resources, we can have them, of course, with their budgeting, so that we, between ourselves, we see what to do between Parliament and Treasury and us in mobilization of resources. I think also we agree with you, Honorable CS, that of course on the issue of we should be thinking about amendment of laws to expand the scope of a power. So the other issues of KWS, the Kenya Forest, could be, of course, held also accountable. On the issue of the rangers, I think we can have a conversation in a later date on the same. So, members, I will kindly ask that we'll open it again. Masara, you're very experienced. You've been here before. Once we start it again, we open it again. I will kindly, with a lot of respect, kindly. I think the Vice had something. They visited the committee when we were in the State House last. They visited the committee, visited the Mbagathi Hospital. And there's just something so much of concern that he wanted to pass it, that you are here. The rest of us kindly. So give Masara to pass our information, then Vice. Then we wrap up kindly.
Thank you, Chair.
Daktari, please.
My 1 minute, Chair, this was very concerning. The cooperation between the ministry and NGCDF. If you want to encourage members, is that those who have participated well and assisted your ministry, you need to do something to them so that it can encourage others. I'm saying this because in Suna West, we have done 4 police stations, 5 police posts, 1 anti-stock theft with 17 units, 4 ACC officers, DCC officers. We have 8 assistant chief and chief's officers, a staff quarter for OCPD, DCIO, and ACC1. But you have not rewarded us. So you need.
At the expense of
That is a pass holder, Buenos Aires.
The reality is, in such a situation, you can do something for such a constituency, and you said because of the cooperation, we have done this. Because we are just doing the same work for the same government, for the same people. Thank you.
You are the pass holder. You are a member of this committee which appropriate the budget, even to them. So it should be the opposite. So, Vice, just...
Thank you very much, Chairman. Waziri, I have 3 issues. The first is on the issue of the National Police Hospital in Mbagathi. When we visited that facility on Thursday, I think we came away realizing that that facility is complete. There are a few missing issues. And there is also confirmed that there is an outstanding bill that is shared between Interior and Defense. But considering what you just said about what Honorable Sigei there said, if we really care about the welfare of the police, I think our police must have a hospital. And going further, they must have a hospital at least level 5, level 6, so that all cases should not go to other private hospitals. And in the process, we are likely to save a lot of money to the taxpayer. So for that reason, you may not have answers on the whim, but we really want to invite you to be seized of this matter so that this facility should be put to operation as soon as it is possible. Secondly is the issue of Official Secrets Act.
Chair, this issue of hospital, I think, Chair, not hospital, Mbagathi Hospital, yes. Just a comment, on the hospital. I'm writing on the hospital. Yeah. Chair, I think we need a session on this with the ministry, because you went there on a serious mission. We need a report to be tabled when the minister is there, so that we can discuss seriously, because I saw a serious visit. So my suggestion is that we have a special session so that we discuss this issue of Mbagathi. It has been there for a long time.
I think I really don't want to invite discussion on that. I want us to open the hospital. Let that hospital be operational and it serves the members of the National Police Service. The second issue, Honorable Waziri, is the issue of Official Secrets Act. Anybody in this government who works at the highest level and who is going to handle secret classified documents will always subscribe to an Official Secret Act, that they'll be binded by this, sometimes all their lifetime, sometimes as many years as it takes. But listening to sometimes to what the media broadcast, what many people are attempting to say, you cannot divulge information that you came about as a result of holding a particular office. You cannot divide it to the public or even to the media itself. So for that reason, because that particular docket, I think, is largely under interior, we must enforce that. Because if we don't do that, we can easily lose this country. The final issue is the issue of Sagante Jaldesa sub-county. I must thank your ministry for putting up that facility, which is complete. And I want to request you to commission it so that at least we have a facility that can serve the people of Marsabit. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So yes, I just want also to pass an information. You may not need actually to respond to. Maybe you can just follow up. There is a Kenyan word written to you through me that kindly assist the graduate prison officers by raising this issue in relevant. Okay, the Commissioner General of Prison is now demanding that a constable must hold a master's degree to be promoted to the rank of inspector. At the same time, the department is recruiting cadets from outside with only bachelor's degree and immediately appointing them as officers. It's like maybe the same card, I guess. Okay, this is deeply unfair to the serving officers who already hold bachelor's degree and have dedicated over 10 years of their 10 years of their years of service without any promotion. You know, with diligence, loyalty to the country and all that. So maybe you can take this one up and see, and you don't need to respond to it here. Any comment do you have to what the vice say? And then we wrap up, we close it up.
I think, first of all, you know, the oath of secrecy that I took as a cabinet secretary, that's what I was looking for, says that I will be a true and faithful counselor to the President for the good management of public affairs of the Republic. I will not divulge, directly or indirectly, such matters as shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my duties and committed to my secrecy except as may be required by for the discharge of my duties as a cabinet secretary. And there's no timeline. It's for the rest of your life, you know. But you know, in Kenya, if you see the group of the older politicians, they know what they are. They know what they took as oath of secrecy. But there are also those who are older, but you know, they don't abide by this oath of secrecy. So someone just wakes up one morning and said, "Oh, one day we were sitting where we discussed this, so and so say this," and yet you swore that, you know, I will not do it unless it is in discharge of my responsibility as a CS. Once you live there, you go and do your other issues out there. And there are people who are in this parliament who have been ministers. You will hear nothing about what they used to do. Nothing. I served with Haji. I have served with Amos Wako. I have served with, you know, many former cabinet secretaries. There was no day, even in private, they will tell you certain things, you know. So I think maybe it's not in my purview, but maybe as colleagues in cabinet, for example, just as an example, even for the PSS, maybe it's something that needs to be to run through people what that means, and what are the attaining consequences for how you, if you are going to divulge certain information that has come to your knowledge by virtue of holding a certain office. It says something about you, not just for the time you have now left the office, but for the time you intend to come back to any office. It says something about the kind of person you can be in terms of being trusted to hold certain offices. And it's important for people to separate those things. And you have not said anything, and I have not said anything. I'm just saying, generally, that is what it means. On the question of National Police Hospital, I think the issue is just the amount. If we can get in the budget so that the contractor can release the facility, and we have a pending bill of 850 million. If that can be sorted, we are good to go. Even if it is halved, we can then start a conversation with the contractor so that they can release. Otherwise, from my last engagements, everything else is in advanced stage, including recruitment of the men and women who will serve, the health workers and so forth. And then on the issue of sub-county, we hope to visit your county in the month of May. So for the security meetings, maybe you can spend one more day to open or something. Based on how we'll agree with you, we can have time to discuss. On the issue of prisons, I think there is some small misunderstanding because I somehow understand that message, because there are some people even who went to court. I think in the recruitment of the prisons that is going to happen end month, there are 2,500 constables that are going to be recruited. It has absolutely nothing. It has no limit of the minimum qualification are provided for there and so forth. For the 500 professionals, it is specific to the certain professions. Yeah, architects, civil engineers, medical professionals. So now somebody misunderstood that for those specific professional qualifications, it should have first given an opportunity to those who have degree who are already serving. But this is an architect. There is no way by virtue of you got a degree, you are constable, and you got a degree, you can be an architect. Or you can be. And if you are there, definitely, if the architect was already there, it means by going out to advertise more, we are trying to get more architects, more doctors, more, and so forth. So I think some clarification needs to go out there for people to appreciate that the 500 professionals being hired are specific to particular professionals with specific academic and professional qualifications for one to hold those offices. Otherwise, the promotion of those who are, I know the concern where it comes from is because that person is being hired as a nurse or as an architect, and then comes at a position of an inspector. So the one who came as a constable and has since qualified to get a degree is hoping that it would have been automatic, that takes them to inspector. But the route of coming is different. We are trying to attract specific skills and to keep them, which is not easy, Mr. Chair, because even in the DCI, and that's something to be discussed later, part of the reasons why we're not keeping many professionals to do the forensics and so forth is because our salary and the ranking is at a certain level. And if you don't have a special scheme for these people to be held, these are scientists who are sought after all over the world. They can easily get jobs in the private sector or outside the country. So they had to start from that position by virtue of their professional qualifications. Asante sana. Thank you.
So thank you so much, CS and your team. I really want to appreciate on behalf of Parliament for honoring the invitation and address the majority of questions that are of greater interest to the Kenyan. So members, the meeting is adjourned until